Good morning. I, Chandrashekhar Tilak, welcome you all in this episode of Market. We are in the first week of March 2021. The ongoing financial year would conclude within 3 weeks from now. Is it a right time to ask ourselves a question? Whether we have earned sufficiently or whether our own investment portfolios have given us certain returns. Of course, for that, we will have to have a look at our own investment portfolios. If at all we have achieved anything, there is nothing wrong in it. In fact, we should pat our own back, saying that even in this era and period of corona pandemic affected financial year and financial scenario, my investment return is positive. If we have not, as I said, it would be more convenient or to find a ready excuse in the nature and realm of corona once again. But that's not the only reason why we will have to have a look at it. Even otherwise, a financial year is coming to an end. So we might have initiated a process of collecting our annual bank statements, our annual demat account statements, our annual mutual fund statements. And one reason there could be, these are the required documents as far as filing of our income tax returns are concerned. And if at all we have to pay certain advance tax based on our other income other than salary, probably this is the right time to do so. Even otherwise, these documents should be much more handy at this point of time, because there is every likelihood that we will get an opportunity to go back to our office and work with colleagues in the weeks to come. At least let us be hopeful about the same. Because one picture which is emerging quite well is now, there may be the restrictions getting continued as far as corona related movement restrictions are concerned, but at least the major state governments from our country are not in a mood or not in a position to impose a lockdown. The reasons may differ, but the result is not. If this scenario of reasons may differ but not the result is true for corona pandemic restrictions, whether it is true for our own portfolios as well? Because as I have recorded and stated in many of my earlier episodes available on my YouTube channel Chandrashekhar Tilak, that financial year and calendar year 2020 was really eventful. We have seen a huge rise and fall as far as Bombay Market Stock Exchange indices or a Nifty are concerned. We have always seen it not only at a local level but at a global level. It is true for gold, it is true for coal, it is true for oil, it is true for many other investment instruments available locally or globally. We have always witnessed during this particular corona pandemic period that if nothing else, this work from home scenario or a phenomena has really helped as far as opening of new demat accounts are concerned. Lakhs and lakhs of accounts have got opened in our country during this particular phase. One reason behind this could be that when we are in the office, many corporates have banned the access to the sites related to the investment. But as in this work from home condition, we have started working from our home, we have a free access to it. And because of extensive demand for this work from home community, our local networks are also improving. And it has given rise not only to the increased number of demat accounts, but probably to ensure the consistent trading volumes at least at an individual investor's level. Because we individually cannot control the institutional volumes and institutional fantasies. I am purposely using the word fantasies. Otherwise, the index movement of more than 50,000 or 40,000 in a 12 months period just cannot be described or justified. But one thing is certain, that we are becoming more choosy, and why must be. If that is the case, it is right time not only to make a note of our occasional gain or loss, but to prepare a list thereof. Because once this list is handily available with us, we can go into analyzing it and realize where our hunches, where our shares, where our advisors have gone correct and where they have not. Probably that would make us more self-reliant as far as our own investment decisions in the coming months and years is concerned. Because one thing is very clear and certain, that at least for next few weeks, our market would remain choppy. Right from 46,000 level of BSE Sensex till 52,000, then back and again nearing 51,000, we have seen that at every level of a rise in BSE Sensex or NSE Nifty, some sort of a profit booking is happening. Individuals as well as institutionals, layman as well as acumenist have started realizing the value of cash in hand is better than two in bush. Rather than funding the new investments or new avenues of investment from own pocket, now have learned a tactic during the corona period to keep on redeploying our capital gains or market gains as far as newer and fresher investment opportunities are concerned. So not only yearly, but probably such an exercise at a periodical level may be of great help to us. It is needless to say that this can be certainly consistent, concurrent audit or review as far as our investment decisions are concerned. The other reason why I am saying so is that in one of my episode on my YouTube channel, probably in Marathi, I have taken a review as far as the primary market of our country is concerned. Because as all of us are quite aware that in the calendar year 2020, although it was taken away completely as far as the financial matter and markets are concerned by corona, even during that particular phase, not only the forex reserves of our country have gone up to the unprecedented level of $590 billion, but when the corona was at its peak and its restrictions were really severest, Reliance Jio has demonstrated what sort of a pull our own products and projects, if they are sound commercially and executed fantastically, can have. Otherwise, he would not have garnered more than 8,000 crores in a matter of few days. Certainly, many other companies did follow that particular example. And probably that has given a good clue or a push as far as primary market of our country is concerned in the calendar year 2020. More than 21,000 crore or at least approximately 21,000 crores were raised during 2020 from the primary market. But this ebb of flows has not went away in the first 2 months of 2021. You might have read in the recent newspapers that already 8 public issues from 3 or 4 different sectors of our economy have already hit the market. And many others who have shared their plans would certainly be reviving their own proposals, and they might be resubmitting the documents to our capital market regulator SEBI as far as their new public issues are concerned. It may not get restricted only to IPOs. Certainly the right shares and other kinds of a scenario may happen. Or not only private sector, but even the public sector companies may be initiating it. We have seen very recently how fantastic response the companies like IRFC and Railtel vented. We have also seen how they are getting received by the secondary market. So certainly this kind of a scenario or some sort of a position trading, to use a parlance on the secondary market, can be played with a primary market. But for that matter, we will have to have a clear close look as far as our capital gains from the investment fields and other instruments are concerned. Because it is expected that in the financial year 2021-22, government sector may be also flooding our primary market as well. A mention of a LIC has already been started. LIC has also declared what sort of a policy they are going to have. Only the timetable and price band within which these particular things from LIC issue would come are not clear. Certainly, 2 other banks and general insurance company are also in the offing. Air India may or may not be available as far as individual investors like you and I are concerned. The consolidation of banks might have been just a first stage, and it may culminate into a new public issue from their side as well. Even otherwise, government has already made it clear that many government companies like IRCTC, Container Corporation of India, BHEL, ONGC and many other PSUs and PSCs may be in the offing, not only because of a bifurcation into core and non-core as far as the PSCs are concerned, not only because government has already announced that what is not core, and government, as to say it very famously, our Prime Minister has very recently announced in a public program that it is not a business of a government to be in a business. It may be having an impetus as far as our all sectors of management and market are concerned. There is every likelihood that we may get a sector specific mutual funds which may be related to only a primary market, which may be related only to a GSEC, which may be related only to certain specific sectors, especially the core sector or a non-core sector kind of a scenario. Because government is going to rely as far as the financial year 2021-22 is concerned, as stated in the budget speech of Honorable Finance Minister, that they would be relying more on a non-tax revenue rather than a tax revenue. So, can we apply the same methodology as far as our own incomes are concerned? And can we say that we would like to rely more on our non-business or non-salary income than the salary or the business income as far as my investable surplus amount is concerned? If that is the case, on one hand the assessment of my income quantum and income flow, and on the other hand the quantum, frequency and composition of my investment gains in the year 2020-21 would be certainly a handy exercise. Can we have this particular exercise done very quickly, either independently by you, or if you are so interested, I will be more than happy to help you as far as reviewing your purposes are concerned. As you may be aware that I have already launched my City Suggest Facebook page, where I have advertised already for my investment advisory services as well as my various investment training programs. You are most welcome to have a view at it, and if you feel so, you can certainly contact me at my mobile number or the email ID, which is getting displayed by way of a ticker as far as this entire episode of Market is concerned. Leaving aside this last commercial aspect as far as this episode is concerned, the importance of such an exercise just cannot be overlooked, because certainly this is going to be an exciting period. Whether it would be a loss making or a profit making will depend the speed and quantum at which I would be moving and keeping the least difference and distance between my decision and action. I wish you the best for the same. Thank you very much.